That is not to say that violence then became my creed. No. I hate violence. But the point is that we were working for and with a regime that was inflicting violence on people. I've been ordered in a fighter airplane to go and terrorize hospitals, terrorize people with a fighter aircraft and things like this. I would come and land. It would take me about 30 minutes to get out because I was asking myself, what am I doing this for? Anyway, here was a regime that was determined to survive by having to corrupt the moral fabric of the armed forces, as many officers as possible. And it was very difficult to resist it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be easy to resist the task ahead of you. And especially as women, looking so pretty, I must be very blunt. Sometimes your boss would want to seduce you before you get your promotion. I don't know how many of you are going to be able to resist it and not get kicked out or get demoted or remain static. And as for the men, they would have to kowtow. If there's something I've noticed about these white people, they don't care whether the person is their son or not their son. So long as you do that well, they will promote you for the sake of the progress of their business. They spend 75% of the interaction with their subordinates, with their staff, on the scientific technological issue that needs to be examined. Take a look at our culture. With us black folks, 75% of that time to be discussing the technicality of the issue is spent actually kowtowing, and the yes sir, and the tone with which you must speak of respectability, etc. And 25% of it is spent on the technical issue that needs to be discussed. I mean, it's not going to be an easy fight, ladies and gentlemen, but the world is changing, and I think you must also add to its acceleration. We've been through some of the worst times. This is not the avenue for it, the opportunity for it, but I think an opening has been created. I was talking about the unipolar world yesterday. I don't know how many of these people are supportive of Obama, but quite frankly, Obama is not my friend. But I have a great deal of respect for him because he has brought back into the world the ethics of doing business. He has brought on board ethical values. And I think we must all take advantage of it when it comes to our politics, when it comes to the social order of things. And I think in Africa, if we do not seize this opportunity and take advantage of Obama's leadership, which has brought about some morality back into international politics, we will be allowing a fine opportunity to slip. So I think, ladies and gentlemen, let me stop here for now and give you the opportunity to also share suggestions with us. There is something my wife says. She may be right, I don't know. But she says that she does not believe that evolution has ended or has stopped. Some of us think you cannot be any wiser than we are. But she thinks that children of today are getting wiser and wiser. She tells me that when children were born in our time, their eyes did not open quickly enough and they could not see and recognize fast enough. But today's children, their eyes open fast enough and they are able to recognize things faster enough. And that is what makes her think that evolution is still in the process, human development. So please, do not allow yourselves to be stagnated by standards. If the standard is high enough, take advantage of it. If it's not high enough, please bypass it and move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I have requested the First Lady to give us a 5-minute speech. I know from her face, please translate. I know from her face she was not interested, but I pushed her and I thank her for saying yes.
Muito obrigada, Presidente Rawlings. Obrigada, Mr. Rasheed. E obrigada a todos os jovens aqui presentes.
Está aceso?
Acho que pode ficar ali de pé e vai traduzindo, não? Para todos.
Ok. Je vais... Allô? Allô? I'm going to translate. It's not my parent language, but I'm going to translate in English, or if needed in French, the speech of the First Lady.
Eu iria falar em poucas palavras em frente dos nossos jovens, que são os nossos filhos.
I will say it in few words to the young people who are our children.
Primeiro, dizermos aos nossos filhos que vão ser os futuros líderes do nosso continente, do mundo. Queremos dizer os nossos filhos devem assumir as responsabilidades de encaminhar o nosso continente, de encaminhar o mundo para o bem-estar da humanidade.
I would like to say to our children, who will be the new leader of the continent, that they have to assume the charge, the responsibility to conduct the continent to a new world of welfare and peace.
Nós, a idade que eu tenho hoje, passamos por uma série de dificuldades e nós não gostaríamos que os nossos filhos pudessem voltar para o passado.
At my age, we suffered a lot of difficulties and huge situations, and we would not like to have our children suffering the same again.
Eu nasci no período de colonização e cresci durante o período de colonização, e eu com 16 anos, eu tive que participar numa luta de libertação nacional para libertar o meu país do julgo colonial.
I was born and I lived my youth during the colonial period. When I was 17, I had to fight against this regime, and I was rather young at that time.
É verdade que os nossos filhos não podem imaginar a situação que nós vivemos, as dificuldades que nós vivemos nesse período de libertação do país, porque eram realmente situações muito difíceis, sem comida, não sabíamos o que seria o dia da manhã, apenas nós tínhamos a determinação e tínhamos a esperança que o país será livre do jugo colonial.
Our children cannot guess how difficult it was at that time, without food, without any hope, not knowing what will be the future. And the only thing, the only willing we had was to free our country. That's why we kept on fighting.
E mesmo nessa altura, nós não tínhamos medo da morte. Nós dizíamos, se morremos, mas vamos morrer mártires, porque nós queremos o nosso país livre. Queremos que os nossos filhos, a futura geração, não viva as condições que nós vivemos.
We were not afraid about death, because we thought, even we die, anyway, this will serve a cause, this will free our country, and our children will be free.
Às vezes, os nossos filhos perguntam-nos, mas vocês passaram por essas situações todas, por quê? Porque os nossos filhos não viveram o que nós vivemos. Nós não tínhamos direito de ir à escola. Não tínhamos direito de fazer nada no nosso país. Apenas éramos escravos.
Our children don't understand what we lived, because at that time we didn't have the right to go to school, we didn't have the right to do anything. Only we had the right to be slaves.
Hoje as nossas crianças têm televisão. Hoje as nossas